everyone, and welcome back to the RMTV Women's Podcast. This is episode 97, and today I am joined by Emma. Emma, how are we?
All right, yeah, just got caught in the rain walking home, so my hair's all frizzy.
I love the British weather. Where's the sun gone? I think we complained about the sun a little bit last week, and now we're complaining that there's no sun. So now we're, can't really
Definitely start all of the podcasts talking about the weather.
Yeah, literally like 5 minutes of it. I was like, oh God. Amy is having a Niamh today. So go and send a lot of love on Twitter, on Instagram, all that jazz. I think she hasn't texted me back from this morning, so I'm pretty sure it's probably going on right now. So fingers crossed all that goes well for her. But yeah, Emma's with me today, and we've got some good topics to talk about. The first one is the one that I'm actually most excited for, and I've been so excited about it since it was a rumour circulating a while ago. It's that Rose Lavelle has signed for Manchester City Women. Now, obviously, her signing for Man City Women is not the thing I'm excited about. It's more so the fact that she's just playing in England now, and I can actually go and watch her play live. But you actually spoke to her yesterday. It was all that interviews, and that's out now, so I'll link that in the description. But how was it speaking to her, speaking to a World Cup champion, Emma?
I know, yeah, she's boss, isn't she? Yeah. By the way, Lauren isn't even joking. She's been messaging me constantly for about a week about Rose Lavelle. So no, she's one of my favourite players as well. I've said that before. Her and Julia, so right up there for me. So I did speak to her in March at the She Believes Cup in the mix zone. So I did drop that at the start of the interview, but she definitely couldn't remember. So that was
just like, oh
yeah. She was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, okay. No, she's amazing. She's really chilled. She's really laid back. So that's I think that's just kind of what a lot of the Americans are like, especially the ones who play on the national team. But she was super excited. You could tell every time I asked her any question. I'm pretty sure the last 3 words were always I am excited. She even said, I think at the end, I posted a video on Twitter, which you can obviously see there, but I asked her to sort of give a message to the Man City fans, and she was just like, let's go. And she was like, I've said I'm excited about 20 times. I was like, you have, but it's fine.
We're all excited, Rose.
Yeah, she was really cool. But it was interesting listening to her talk about why she wanted to join Man City. Obviously, she spoke about Sam Lewis and how her coming over influenced her decision. Obviously, they're best mates, so she gets to play with a Bezzy. But they were both really keen to just play overseas. And I think the main, I guess the exciting thing is that the WSL is kind of the number one place now to go to if you do want to play overseas from the States. It's not necessarily other places in Europe like it used to be. It's, the number one is the WSL. And she said that, and she spoke really highly of Gareth Taylor and his coaching staff, and sort of how he had discussed with her on how she was going to fit into the squad. Obviously, she was excited to play with the other Lionesses in the midfield, and obviously Caroline Weir as well. Yeah. And then I also asked her whether she was aware of the kind of the pressure and the expectation that will be on her as a World Cup winner. And I absolutely loved this answer. She was just like, well, the World Cup was over a year ago. So she's already over it. She's already, she's like, oh, I've already won that, moving on. So she's already got her eyes on winning more trophies. And again, that was another thing. So apart from her clear excitement, it was just that sheer winning mentality, which we know the Americans have got. And that's what we're sort of craving over here. And that's what we want, sort of from our Lionesses. And that shone all the way through. And I'm pretty sure one of the last things she said actually to end the interview was that she wanted to win everything there was possible to win with Man City, and the chance to play in Champions League football. And obviously that comes with being as part of a club in Europe and being part of one of the top clubs in Europe. So very exciting.
Yeah, really is. I think one thing I took away from that interview, and then also the Sam Lewis one as well, is that they both highlighted Caroline Weir as a player that they enjoyed watching. I think they both mentioned that they seen her I know Muse did mention that she's seen her at the World Cup. But then also I think for me, I was almost like, oh, this is a bit of a mad thing that you've got 2 American players, such high profile players coming over to WSL, because sometimes as like English women's football fans, you don't quite believe that our league goes worldwide. Sometimes you don't think that people actually pay attention or watch as regularly as they do. So for like 2 American World Cup champions to sign for Man City, it's not just good for City and like their team, but it's good for like the entire league and English women's football altogether, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw somebody question that on Twitter, actually. I can't remember where it might have been in response to one of the BBC Sport tweets that we did on Rose Lavelle, and it was somebody who wasn't a fan of Man City, and they sort of said, well, how does it benefit the rest of the WSL? And the thing is, if the top teams are doing well and they're successful, not just in WSL but in Europe as well, then that gains more sponsorship and more broadcasting rights. And as you say, the fact that we got more broadcasting rights last season is probably another reason as to why the WSL has sort of gone up again another level now, because there was more eyes on it last season, obviously off the back of the World Cup, and that was because England reached the semi-finals. So anything from the top is always going to trickle down to the bottom. And already, like, you know, I spoke to Willie Kirk last week and we spoke to Casey Stoney yesterday, and both of them also highlighted that it's not just City and Chelsea in particular that have gone out and brought, you know, the big guns. Obviously Arsenal have brought a lot of players over from Australia as well, but Everton have, like, for me, Everton's transfer window, sorry Liverpool fans, but they have been brilliant this summer. I mean, they brought in the French number 9, Gouvin. I think it's Valerie Gouvin, isn't it? And you know, she was one of the stars of the World Cup as well. And then you've got, you know, Reading are obviously bringing in players. Everyone is kind of strengthening, and even, you know, even United getting, like, you know, the likes of like Lucy Staniforth and talent like that, and obviously young talent like Ona Battle. And so it's not just those top teams that are strengthening it is the teams below. Obviously not quite on the same level as World Cup winning Americans, but there or thereabouts. But yeah, like, it's only going to benefit everyone, because if you look at the players that are going to be playing against the likes of Rose Lavelle and Sam Lewis as well, you know, you've got like people like Leah Williamson, who's obviously a young English centre back at Arsenal. She's going to be coming up against these players. She's going to be playing against the likes of Rose Lavelle. Obviously she does that on the international stage, and we all know that England's biggest test is always the USA. So playing against World Cup winners in your own domestic league, where you're guaranteed to play them twice a season, that is only going to help the players that are already in the WSL as well.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. I think in like terms like Man City, just their squad alone, obviously they've added both Rose Lavelle, Sam Lewis, and also Chloe Kelly. So they've got a lot of like attacking force, plus, you know, whether Lucy Bronze and Alex Green will go or not, who knows. But then they've literally added in every single area possible. Obviously, like Karen Barty's coming back from her injury as well, so she'll be available this season. I just don't see a better squad all around than them this season coming, because I mean, Chelsea are obviously, they've got a really good squad. Like you said, Arsenal have added to theirs. United, Everton, like I think it is gonna be a little bit more competitive this season amongst like the top 5-6 clubs. But I feel like City are just really gonna blow teams away in some games.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you do have to feel bad for Chelsea, because they obviously brought Sam Kerr in last November and everyone was going, that squad is unreal. And then City have just kind of gone, I mean, they were top of the table when the FA obviously finished the league prematurely and essentially gave Chelsea the title. That's no disrespect to Chelsea. They beat City and they played phenomenal last season, but it must be so frustrating for Man City when you're sat top of the table and you don't win the league. So they were clearly annoyed about that. I spoke to I spoke to the likes of Jill Scott and Caroline Weir and Janine Becky and a few others during lockdown, and they were all like respectful, but you could tell that they were ready to sort of get their revenge and, you know, fight for the title this season. I think that's off the pitch. That's exactly what they've kind of shown during the transfer window. City are here for business, and they want that title big time. And they've just gone out and absolutely blown the water. And yeah, I think City are going to win the league. I just think that midfield. it's just absolutely world class. I mean, you've got Jill Scott, who's obviously coming towards the end of her career. And they've essentially just gone, right, okay, let's go and bring in a couple of World Cup winning Americans and give her a bit of competition. So, I mean, I'm just looking at Caroline Weir, Kira Walsh, Sam Lewis and Rose Lavelle as kind of, you know, your four. And then obviously you've got Jill Scott in there as well, and obviously Laura Coombs. That's just ridiculous. So yeah, for me, I just can't see past City, because even with Chelsea, that, you know, they've got their superstars up front, and you know, they've got incredible midfielders as well. Obviously, Hugh Wrighton came in and had, for me, you know, one of the best seasons in the league last season. And then you know, obviously you've got Sophie Ingle, who's solid, and Beth England and Sam Kerr up front. But City have then also got so much young talent there as well. Obviously Lauren Hemp, Chloe Kelly, Georgia Stanway, they were all brilliant last season. They're still there. You expect them to go up another level. I could talk about it all day. I just think the squads are just brilliant.
Yeah, you can literally name every single player in their squad and everyone will just be like, yeah, world class, world class, world class, world class. Yeah. It's just like, where does it end? Where does it end? Like, it's just going to be amazing. Like, I said to you over text a few days ago, I was like, I'm obviously gutted that Liverpool are in the UWCL. Like, but if I was going into that City game twice, like home and away next season, I'd be like, oh my god, what's going to happen here? Like,
I mean, the good news is that we still got the Continental Cup. So the fixtures will be, I think they'll be announced next week. So obviously, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I would like. It's easy to get to as well, Manchester. It's quick drive, quick train journey. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it's literally, I can walk there from mine, so.
So it will be easier for us, but then also I don't want to get like knocked out of the cup by them. So it'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and head to a few City games just to scout out the opposition.
The opposition.
Yeah. Speaking of Liverpool, then some news came from the club yesterday that Niamh Fahey and Rachel Furness are our new club captain and vice captain for this season. Yeah, really happy about that. No, can't disagree with either of those. But Niamh Fahey obviously taking the armband in the absence of Sophie Bell-Auckland, obviously because she's not going to be with us for a couple of months. When it was announced on Monday, Niamh has said herself in the interviews and like on Instagram that like just how much of an honour it was, and the fact that like she's a Liverpool fan, which obviously makes it just that like a little bit sweeter for her. But what do you think it is about Niamh Fahey as a player and a person that makes her such a good leader both on and off the pitch?
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned there, the fact that she is a Liverpool fan shows that she kind of understands the expectation that's on the club and what comes with playing for the badge and playing for Liverpool Football Club. And I think that's really important this season, especially. You said then about sort of how you were gutted that Liverpool weren't in the WCL, and that's definitely sort of how the players feel. They're missing out on these games, so they obviously want to be straight back up in WCL. And I think Niamh appreciates that is the ultimate expectation, and she obviously understands the fan base. So from that point of view, that she's quite calm narrative. I think that while she understands the expectation, she's kind of there to be a bit of a cool head for the young ones at the back. So obviously she's highly experienced as well, and she's been around the game a while. So yeah, she'll be brilliant. And she's been obviously vice captain, so she's been in that kind of leadership role. And I know that Furness, as soon as Furness came in January as well, she sort of adopted that kind of leadership role unofficially as well anyway. So the two of them together, I think, will do a great job.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned, I think, literally every podcast almost, or every video almost, since Furness came here, just how much we love her and how much like she's just made such an impact in a short space of time. And now, like, not even like a couple of months on, she's now vice captain for us this season, and she said like it's a big honour for her as well. But I think we'll sort of the same question, like what what do you think it means to her to be so like respected already by both the fans and people at the club?
Yeah, well, just like kind of on Furness, like I think it'll be a really good pairing with Niamh, because she's kind of the opposite. So while Niamh's like quite this sort of calm and collected personality, like Furness kind of the joker. She's the one who's just going to be screaming and shouting all game. She's in like proper in your face. So they're kind of like black and white. So they kind of work really well together as a duo. But yeah, Furness, I know it means a lot to her because, and as you say, she said this on social media, because she's obviously come in with a lot of experience and she's worked really hard to help the young ones. Vicky said this on record before. I've said this plenty of times. I know you have as well. But the way that she sort of helped Rins as well when she came in and sort of took her under her wing, and that was just kind of one example of Furness' kind of impact that she's had on the squad. And I think that's what will be expected of her as vice captain. And like I said, given Furness' personality, I think she sort of craves that leadership role and she likes to take charge and have her say in what's going on in the squad. So I just think it makes absolute sense really for her to, as I said, she was kind of in that leadership group anyway. So she's essentially just being given a title now. But the same with Niamh. Obviously, Niamh being a Liverpool fan will appreciate it maybe a little bit more. But I think anyone knows if you'll come into Liverpool, you know how big the club is.
Yeah.
And Furness knows that. So yeah, it's great to see both of them rewarded because they've been loyal to Liverpool, Niamh especially, and then obviously Furness come in and she's committed kind of to helping the team bounce straight back up, even though she only had those 6 months. So yeah, good to see and well done to both of them.
Yeah, definitely. I think one thing I've just noticed about like the Liverpool squad in general, especially over the last couple of weeks, is obviously we've had the new signs come in, but it's just how much of like a tight group they are. It sounds silly, but like it's just something simple as like you see them commenting on each other, it's like social media posts and stuff like that, and like that goes a long way in terms of like making friendships. And obviously the likes like Rachel Laws, who's come in, she was obviously already mates with like Fahey and Becky G and that, and obviously been at the club before, but it's not the same group of players as when she was here before. So obviously she's got like a few familiar faces, but it's so important that when new players come in, they're immediately brought in and taken under the wing. And like you said, for the young players, like Rins had like a couple of moments last season where she probably wasn't performing at the level that you sort of expected from her. But in the games where she did perform at the best she could, she blew people away. And if she's got that backing from someone like Rachel Furness, who's now vice captain, but also just an older player of the squad who's been around for a while, it does them all the world of good. And I think like Niamh Charles was an example as well. She would have had loads of people. I think the weight of expectation on Charles was a little bit more just because of like obviously being a Liverpool fan. She's been at the club for ages and she was just like a fan favourite. She's obviously moved on to Chelsea and she'll learn from those experienced players, but it's so important that the ones that we have at the club now really take all those young ones under their wing and just basically try and nurture them into the best possible player they can be, especially for Liverpool this season, because we do want to go straight back up to the UWCL next year.
Yeah, and like Furness and Niamh as well, like they're international, so they've got that experience, and that's something which, I mean, I've said this, and I've said this to people at the club as well. Like we need more internationals in. I've been saying that for about 2 years now because I just think that I think with the international experience comes more pressure and expectation and just a general day-to-day professionalism that you might not necessarily get if you haven't had that. And obviously those two have had that experience. They've played in like Euro qualifiers and things like that, so they know what it means to kind of keep up this standard, which is just you're expected to just have a high standard all the time. And as you say, that'll rub off on the young players. But just sort of back to that point that you made about the new signings coming in, I think that's a really good point. And you've already seen those friendships evolve. Obviously, like Riley, who came in January, she's living with Rins, and like they've been getting on really well, which is nice to see. And then obviously, as you said, Lawsy, she's You know, she's known Furness and Becky for a while now, so she's obviously like sort of tagged on with them, and like she's another person who's come in, and she'll be a leader straight away. So she'll kind of you know, be in that kind of leadership group as well. So yeah, it is really good to see, and I think that Vicky said this last season as well, even when results weren't going the way, that the squad harmony was always good, but sometimes when you're that close, if results aren't going your way and a couple of people are getting a bit down or a bit negative about it, that then probably spreads quicker and rubs off on everyone.
Yeah.
So, you know, the fact that they've been doing well in pre-season, they've got this fresh start, you know, there's all the new kit and everything, it's all exciting and whatever this season. I think everyone at the moment is really, really confident. So I just think if Liverpool can get off to a good start in the league, then I think they'll be flying in the Championship this season, to be honest with you. But I just think it all comes down to that start. If they get, you know, if they have a couple of games where they're not performing, or you know, they sort of get a couple of poor results, then I think the results from last season might kick in the back of their head. So I just think that team unity just needs to stay strong and stay positive, and it is up to players like Bernie, especially, you know, the ones that have got real character, and
yeah,
she needs to be that kind of positive person to pick everyone up, and that's what she did in January. And you know, and that's when I say, like, obviously she didn't single-handedly win games or score goals, but it's that positive mentality that she brought, which, as I said, because the team is so strong, that spread much quicker than, you know, than maybe what you'd expect. So it's kind of on her shoulders a little bit to be one of those people, to pick the players up, and hopefully, as I say, we'll get off to a good start anyway. So
yeah, we haven't got long to wait, have we? It's only what, like 2 weeks, 2 and a bit weeks now to go until the new season. So
oh my god, I need a holiday.
I'm supposed to be going to Spain next week. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Oh no, I've had to cancel my holiday to France, but
yeah, I know. But I mean, we've had an email to say the flight's still going, so we don't know what to do basically. So, but yeah, like you said, like we get 2 wins, one at Durham, one at London City Bees. Then, you know, I think it's important that we win those 2 first games, just like you said. We didn't get off to a good start last season, and that will sort of kick into them and be like they'll all, the ones who are left at the club will be like, oh god, we don't want a recap of what happened there. But yeah, it will be very interesting. Fingers crossed that we do have a good season, we get off to a good start. Just then, the Women's Champions League is back on Friday and Saturday, so we've got 4 games to look forward to. We have Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona on Friday. We have Glasgow City versus Wolfsburg on Friday, and then on Saturday we have Lyon versus Bayern Munich and Arsenal versus PSG. Out of them 4, who's going through? Who are you picking?
Oh, I'm going to go for Atletico in the all-Spanish one. I'm going Atletico. I really, really want Glasgow to win, but I think Wolfsburg are going to win that one. Lyon Bayern, I mean, Lyon just don't ever lose a game, do they? So Lyon are winning. And then I've got to go for Arsenal.
Yeah.
So Atletico, Wolfsburg, Lyon, and Arsenal.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go for that as well. You've sort of got to back Arsenal a little bit, just because like they're the only English team left. So like,
they've also got Wiedemann, and she's a legend. So
yeah, but like, just it's funny that you've just said that about Lyon, that they just never lose. One thing that I've noticed, Jodie Taylor's played like 2 games and she's won 2 trophies, and it's just like, what? Like, do you ever not lose? Like, it's just another day at the office for them, isn't it? Like a cup final, it's like, yeah, whatever, just take this one home as well. Like, but like, surely they can't go all the way and win it again this year.
I think they will.
It'd just be, what would that be, 5 or 6, or that'd be 6, wouldn't it?
6, yeah.
And then how many on the bounce would that be? 4?
Yeah, 4.
I think it'd be 4 on the bounce, wouldn't it? Like, no.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, because they won 3 on the bounce. I mean, basically, like, City just need to go and buy the rest of, like, they just need to go and get like Juliet's, maybe Pinot.
Go and get, like, what goalkeeper could you go and get? I mean, Roebuck's pretty solid, to be fair. So yeah.
Yeah, just go and buy the rest of the USA team, and then beat Leon.
I wouldn't be surprised if the cricket came out and was like, yeah, we've got like Kristen Press coming as well. Like she's just going to be going up front with Ellen White and whoever else. I'd just be like, cool, yeah, okay. Oh yeah. Well, thank you so much for jumping on and
That's
chatting.
all right. Sorry about my cup.
Oh, it's a lovely mug. It's a lovely mug.
It's horrendous.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below on all the topics we've spoken about today. Let us know who you think will win the Champions League as well. We'll keep up to date with that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel. Check out Emma's Twitter, and like I said, I'll link the Rose Lavelle article there as well that you can go and have a read. But yeah, thank you, and we'll see you all next time with a new podcast. Bye.